Dzień dobry, w kolejnym odcinku ci Sherlocka Holmesa. Zaczynamy oto kolejne zadania. Ja być toru policjanta. Które poznaczać tych. Niestety nic nie patrzę. Jest coś. Okej. Czy oparnym aknie nic nie mamy? Większość spraw mam już załatwione, więc czas ruszyć dalej, no nie? Zaproszenie od wokra, okej? Idziemy dalej. Szukamy, gdzie to jest. Meple już mnie interesują. Więc ja mogę iść dalej. Oto jest pytanie, gdzie to jest? Jestem przed rezydentem, to nie tu. Oto jest pytanie. Bardzo poważne. Gdzie jest ta impreza? Oto. Szukamy dalej. No to nie wiem, gdzie to jest. To mnie zastanawia. Szukam i nic nie ma. O, czy coś tu będzie? Czasem tulee przebrać na ten upój. Czy ja mam ten strój? Czy to ten? Chyba... Jeszcze poszukamy. Chyba to jest ta kula. Czy ja... Chyba to ten. Nie jestem pewny, czy to ten, czy ten... Chyba czy to na ten. Więc i tam idziemy dalej. Nie zajmuję niczym. Idziemy do akcji. Wiem, czy tam to jest. Po długim wyszukiwaniu nie mogłem znaleźć. Zaraz ruszać powoli ku finału, fabuły. Mam nadzieję, że ta sprawa nie będzie to tak mam nadzieję, że to mi krótko zostało, ponieważ mam inne plany na inne rzeczy, bez początku. Kiedy to jest podobno ubrany do mnie. Czas ruszać. Na razie nic nie mamy ciekawego. Filmik jakiś. Nie? A to było tylko czytanie ekranu. Jednak jest inny filmik. Nie się zgadzam. Bufet, okrom kicztów. Bóg. Jestem ciekawy, jakie atrakcje mnie czekają w tej sprawie, jak nie. Więc idziemy sprawdzić. Oto jest
What if I write an article about these people here? Can you help me gather information about Cordona's elite?
Mamy zakład. Ten ta praca, ok.
Do you know what was here
Tu jest
before
jakieś
Manchester?
poczłane. Czas poznać. Pewnie trzeba będzie na czym mieć uta. Nie? No co, to? Pewnie oszustwo by potrzebowało, ale nie jestem pewny.
Do you know what was here?
Mamy. Ta praca, ok.
That's what I like about this part.
Is to the
Give
content?
me more dirt, Sherry. One more piece. Curtains do not guarantee privacy.
And you still need a crack, despite being ethereal?
My goodness, Sherlock. They made a blood fountain.
No, John, it's definitely not blood, just wine.
Nie
Go
mogę
on, yes?
czytać między nimi.
Well-known and recent plays to keep up to date with the
A to
current trends.
biblioteczka.
Romantic poetry and Codex Orchis. These medieval botany and chemistry books look even more satanic than the occult ones.
Tu nic ciekawego nie ma. Co tu jest ciekawego? Znowu kartcenka, okej.
Sherlock!
Jak
Friend!
mnie rozpoczynał?
I wasn't sure you'd come.
Werner, I see you are not yourself.
The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show you all we have to offer.
And what is on offer today?
Pleasure, indulgence, relief, and relaxation. You've earned some time for yourself, have you not?
Those who know me would say I'm incapable of it.
Nonsense. I refuse to believe there is anyone permitted to know Sherlock Holmes.
You may be right.
Then free yourself from inhibition and expectation. The night is young, and so are the guests. You should try to enjoy both. It's not healthy for handsome men to spend every night alone, and certainly
Okay.
not in a house filled with such melancholic memories.
I must admit, my travels have proven more taxing than expected.
Znalazł to.
I'm less confident in my life.
Korzystał z alkoholu.
Time of relaxation seems a distant dream.
So can I tempt you with a physical aid to your moral consolations? There's wine, of course, something to smoke, or perhaps an artificial paradise? Yes, something more spiritual, a potentiator to sharpen the mind. 7% solution of, well, that'd be telling, but you must try it.
My mind is my most valuable asset, and a finely tuned instrument I will not risk impeding its function. My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth, and I do that perfectly well as is.
Duty? You've never cared about that before.
Of course I do. Exposing a lie, revealing a fact, that is a moral responsibility.
That's not morality. Morals are what happens afterwards when truth collides with consequence. Do you ever follow up on cases you solved? Do you ever see what happened next, visit the victims, ensure justice is served in the courts? And how do you choose where to direct your attention? Are there not deserving causes to which your brilliance could be applied but isn't?
You ascribe me more power than I possess. I have a narrow skill set and work within that mandate. What occurs afterward is irrelevant.
With every action or inaction, you place a finger on the scales of morality. Many in the city would see you as abdicating your responsibility.
I haven't.
Not me, of course. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. Now I must insist on easing any burdens I've placed upon your shoulders. Show yourself a kindness,
No,
and
truthnie
try
się
this rather
Sherlock.
delectable concoction.
Nie bądź na tym nakiem. I
If this solution truly does assist with thinking, then perhaps it would be puerile to overlook an opportunity to study it. I'll take it with me.
Yes, Sherlock. Very good. And now, our evening begins in earnest. I just remembered. I'm sorry, Sherlock. My mind's delightfully impaired. Please take this key. It opens the altar room, past the library.
Pardon? Altar room. What now, Werner?
a to
Go
jest
quickly
ciekawe.
and find
O,
out,
tak.
Fabio. Only you can make him talk. I'll join you in a
Musimy
minute.
tam za minutkę search zobaczyć. Na razie wszystko tutaj spadać, ogarnąć. Wyczytłem. Tu czy on? Zaokładczona, czy może wykonać tą żółtą pracę.
Manchos had to
Dużo
enforce
jest.
the masks. Manchos
Poczekam.
had to
Jest.
enforce the masks.
Uć. Nie udało mi się. Chciałem z tą tym problemy. Może powiedzieć. Od nowa
Manchos had to
posłamy. Nie. To było... Nie. Nie wiem, czy to był. Jest. Jest. Mamy to. Za którym tracem.
I'll pin them down with this scoop.
Poczułem.
Thank you, Sherlock.
Jedź, mamy trofeum. Coraz bliżej do platyny. Bez nie muszę opawać tego. Зараз може бути dalej trochę? Tym ty nie mogę. Jest. What the? Co tu cię wydaczyło? A jakaś opala.
My God. Was he here this whole time?
Które to po to jest tutaj, bez może trochę ten znaleźć.
The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a
Spadać
slight
wszystko.
hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony.
By
This elaborate
poprawne
box must be
odkreślić.
for the ritual
Fuzyjne
dagger.
opaleta
The
tego.
ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly.
Tu nic nie mamy. Okej.
The sign reminds me of the
Co
astrological symbol for
symbole
Mars.
tyle ogarnąć?
This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus, drawn in a hurry.
Tu. Chyba nic nie ma. Zatrzymać opalę.
A blunt-force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage.
Nuć. Sztylet.
The
Co w tym
dagger is
stylu?
heavy and sharp, but lacks balance. This golden handle has a bloodstain on it. This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood.
Okej. Ślad po
The
noczu.
wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart.
Tu nic nie ma. Powiem ci tatuaż, powiem ci.
The victim has
Balance.
clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it. This crude tattoo partially covers a slave branding. He died right here.
Przyszedł kolega do nas. Żółtą pracę mamy. Czas trochę zmienić ten dowód. Ponieważ dzięki temu mogę coś nowego ogarnąć.
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts. But I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner.
What is it
Chyba
about
cię
these
skoczą to
nights that
pytamy.
you were so eager
Czym
to share
mieć
with
rację
me?
na sytuację?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their boundaries in a safe and consensual atmosphere, often with more stains than your typical crime scene. But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
I suppose that's fair. What about today, then? Was anything different?
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life into...
Mr. Manchios is the owner of the
Powiedz mi
mine.
całą
And
prawdę,
the host
okej?
of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was sent to
Naprawdę
perform an
mnie
fantasy
interesuje,
rite with
kto to
Fabio. Came
okanał.
to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Huh, who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then we were
Filling time?
waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil. Not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he
Okej.
finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
Ja bym nie chciał
The
brać udziału w tym
intercourse
akcie.
is not?
I did not expect you to
To
be
nie
such
moje
a
klimaty
prude.
do końca.
Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of.
Trochę
but it would
wolno,
explain
ale
the
lubicie
colour of your cheeks.
zapierać
The fertility
składać
rite
opali, no
marks
to
the start of our
proszę
festivities.
bardzo.
The principle of
Tylko
life
mnie by ten
is
interes nie
beautiful,
chce wracać,
intimate,
okej?
essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
I
When you
nie,
discovered the body,
ostatnie
was the
pytanie.
door open?
Chyba?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
Powiedz mi tyle i
You
jebać.
didn't have the key.
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later only to find the lock was not blocked.
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I
Proč
know about
informacji
you,
mi
Sherlock,
obiecałeś?
it's that nothing
I
suits
chciałem
you
kuleć
more
za
than a
to.
good mystery.
Które mi rozczaćniło sytuację. Tam jeszcze coś ominąłem.
This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive.
Tu... Coś tu... Nie, to tylko światło. Tu nic nie ma. Mamy opiec opali. 3 Jest! 4. Cikara.
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion.
Coś natypane jest. A krep!
An open wound spoiled the carpet.
Tu... Ten... Nie, tym nie.
Why don't people tidy up after themselves?
Coś tutaj krupełku musiałem stracić. Coś ten ostatni szrat, dowód. Poczraka. Nie. Tu. Oto pytanie. Jest, butelka. Tam pytać kraty krwi.
A sturdy bottle met a not so sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened.
Mamy. To jest bararna, okej? Już rozumiem teraz, jak to pomnienie było ciągnięte. Na króć. Zaczynność. Wow. Widzicie, jak
The
cypienie
wounded
to
person
po
was
tu
here for
pomaga.
some time. A bloody handprint on an armchair.
Tu. Jest. Na kokardce. Nie.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood.
Już koniec?
There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar.
Tu nic więcej nie ma? Nie, czy mi chcę pecieć by to. A, udało mi się dotrzeć dalej.
Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set.
Tutaj są te kostiumy.
Identical to the robes the guests are wearing.
Chyba ktoś mi omył po akcie okrutnego aktu.
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it.
Krew,
Blood
tak.
clots are adhered to the sides of the drain.
Mamy to. Jeszcze mamy tutaj na stolikat.
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. All my Fabio. Banchos.
Tu nic nie ma. A maczki, okej.
Would you recognize me in one of these? I suppose not.
A czym tam ten list, kolego? Szkoda, że nie ma odbicia, ruch 4. Gdzie jest ten odstępna poczraka? Tu. Idziemy dalej. I nic nie ma, niestety. Klucz ten? Jest.
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me.
To co, mała, to cztem to tylko.
The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
Mamy wszystko, ok? A że drugie furko.
This
Czyli
is a
to.
different ritual.
I nic. Okej. Czym list? Mamy list?
How can anyone accept such behaviour?
I ostatni. To. Poczraka jest.
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal. Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains.
Tylko potrzebował napisać.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
Mogę zaznaczyć. Mamy jedną kuleczkę. Zaraz sobie dedukować, jak to mogło się wydarzyć. Tu chyba butelka chyba nie. Chyba najbardziej to mi pasuje. Nie patrzcie, zamknąć chyba. Tak. Dalej nie mogę. Nie wiem, czy to ten kolec, czy nie. Bez. Czy manekin, czy ten. Nie wiem, na razie zostawiamy czy manekinę. Tutaj ktoś mnie ząknął. Tak, chyba tak będzie idealnie. Musimy to tutaj. Muszę się obmyć. Bo by było to podarczone. I co zrobić? Sprawdzamy?
The bottle was used as a weapon
Wow,
during a
super,
scuffle
zobaczmy,
in
mi
the
się
smoking
udało.
lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you all right? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
To napaść na cię.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all.
Mamy tutaj kolejne rzeczy do połączenia. Nie wiem, czy do końca jest to dobry pomysł, ale mamy. To jest fakt. Mamy. Myślę, że może być klipką na ten moment. Bo mi to nie wygląda na do końca rytuał. Bez. Zaraz mi przedstawić kilka poczrak na temat.
The murderer had to have access to this
Dowodów.
room.
Bo ja
After the
muszę
crime,
dowiedzieć
he
się,
used his
co
own
i jak
key to lock
nic
the
jest
door.
na ten temat.
So, who had the key to
I
the
mi
altar?
ułatwić sprawę
sure.
na koniec.
As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry. I know you can untangle this mess.
Czas poszukać, o co być tłumaczką. Ja nie czekam, tam chyba to będzie lepsze, nie? Poczekaj. Służąca. Służący, sorry. Tam nie mogę być. Ktoś tutaj na aptece musi być. Myślę, że chyba to tym
Kurt
będzie.
Manchios, I presume? I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me
Katka,
about.
matka.
What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
Did you know
Chyba
Fabio well?
głównie
People
bym tak
are
przestawił
starting
na
to
później,
look
nie?
at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined. I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
Czać wrócić, tylko pyta.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos.
Może cię
Who was
słuchać.
that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo, in his opinion at least.
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti
Możesz mi
and
powiedzieć, gdzie oni
Matista.
są?
Do you
Chyba mi
have
popę.
somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes.
Gdzieś do
He
kuchni,
will be busy with the servants.
żeby go
Or the
odszukać
call.
pewnie.
What's that noise?
Co tu
What's
się
going
dzieje?
on? Freeze, filth. You're
Policja?
under arrest.
Ale cię pakopałem, pytarabaty. Co za brutalność. Kopnakiem, pałką. Aresztowany jestem. Sherlock Holmes, aresztowany. Myślę, że za niedługo zakończymy, okej?
Look at you. Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we had Vogel in his letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig. Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
Co by pracy, chyba to.
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was
Możemy
working on the
pomóc.
paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes.
Bo mnie
Why?
interesuje ta sprawa.
You must help me. It would mean a great deal to me if you could find any information about that day.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table.
Dzięki.
Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Okej.
Let's make a start then, partner.
Jestem
I'm glad we
detektywem.
managed to get the scoop before the raid. Look, I found Werner.
Myślę, że chyba na tym skończymy. To kończymy, a czy ten minutkę i już będę kończył. Zapraszam was na kolejne odcinki i już będę mówić.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes,
Ej,
yes.
chciałbym
Everything's
podziękować,
fine.
a
In
nie
fact,
czekać
it's
z nim.
something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that
Nie
enabled
mogę.
my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
No to pa i to miłego usłyszenia.